And we've told you over and over again about how important it is to wash your hands, but that can lead to dry skin. We have some tips that will help you deal with that. Plus, the feds slashed the interest rate. We're going to tell you what that means to your wallet and also the economy.
And larder is a semi-finalist for the James Beard Award. We are going to be live there as they make one of their most popular dishes. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New with Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford.
Yes, it is. And hello again, everyone. Happy Tuesday. And thanks so much for joining us with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Here's what's new at 5 o'clock.
We start off with coronavirus, and we're always working to bring you facts, not fear. 9 people have now died from the coronavirus here in the United States, all of them in Washington state. There are now more than 100 cases reported across 15 states, and U.S. health officials are facing criticism over whether testing for the virus will be widely available soon. A glitch in test kits delivered in January slowed testing here, but even with all of this, the Surgeon General says we should not be afraid.
Now, Betsy, we see people wearing these masks. We see them all over the place, despite the fact that many of the experts are saying they're not going to protect you from catching the coronavirus. Right. They're just not. The mass panic buying that we're seeing going on, some say it's actually hurting healthcare workers. Drew has been following that story all day. Drew, what's going on here?
Well, we were talking to doctors who are also critical of the CDC and how this is all playing out, saying that they need these masks. And I spoke with an independent physician today. Her name is Dr. Cynthia Weinstein, and she is in family practice in Akron, and she's trying to follow the recommendations of the CDC to get these so-called N95 masks for her staff, which are supposed to be a little bit better for dealing with coronavirus. But she cannot get them. She told me today some of the larger hospital systems will be able to, and so she is worried about a risk if a patient were to show up there suspected of coronavirus exposure.
Well, it puts me in a position where I don't feel we're prepared. What we're doing is we are asking anyone who's ill whether they've been traveling, where they've come from, so we would have to send them to an emergency room, which, again, I think as we get more and more cases, then that will overwhelm the emergency rooms.
And I can tell you that factories are stepping up production of these masks, but as you were saying, that the public is buying these as well, posting pictures on social media, and that certainly sends a bad message. Yesterday, the U.S. Surgeon General even tweeted against it. Don't be doing that. The healthcare providers need them. Sick patients need them. You do not. They do not seem to be meaningful.
A number of Hollywood celebrities do this.
I know.
Right.
I know.
It's completely misleading the public.
And it hasn't been found to meaningfully prevent coronavirus.
Right.
It's just a false sense of security.
Oh, I read something yesterday that said it could actually increase the risk that you get it because you feel a false sense of security that you can touch your face more, when in reality it's not protecting you.
Well, let's pick it up with that because a lot of people are being encouraged, obviously, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
Right.
But Purell, we always think, put the goop on the hands, we're good to go. This is a shelf on a store in Bay Village. That's a Purell shelf.
Ouch.
Whoops. So Gojo, which makes Purell, of course,
Akron.
they're based in Akron. What are they doing to keep up with demand?
So I spoke to them today. They have actually stepped up production and had some interesting answers just about what the Purell situation looks like. They are telling me that they have increased production, but that this situation is not unprecedented. They've had that before. And as far as getting the bottles, those are not made in China. Those are made in North America. So they feel pretty confident that they will be able to meet the demand of Purell. So store shelves do not look like that.
Well, we'll have a little bit more on hand washing and the effects it's having on your skin and getting some lotion on your skin. We have more on that in just a few minutes.
Great.
Thanks, Andrew.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Now on to more of your feed at 5. The number of people who died in a tornado early this morning is at 22. 8 tornadoes were reported last night across Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee, with parts of Nashville and central Tennessee particularly hard hit and in the middle of the night. Dozens of buildings were destroyed. Thousands of people now don't have power. And today marks 1 year anniversary of when a tornado hit Alabama, killing 23 people. It was a very scary. One thing to deal with tornadoes. A whole other beast when there are tornadoes at night because now you've lost that sense of being able to see your surroundings.
It got me to thinking, though, and I wanted to ask you this question. Is there anything we can do, because we're not in front of a television, so we're kind of out of touch. Is there anything we can do phone-wise where we can hear? Tell me what to do so I feel safe when I'm sleeping.
National Weather Service NOAA Weather Radio.
Okay.
They're cheap and easy. You can program to your particular county. The other thing is your phone. You know, your phone is going to go bananas if you are within a flash flood warning zone or a tornado warning zone.
Right.
Your phone
Do you have to
will
opt
go
into
up.
those warnings?
No, it will automatically
Okay,
come
good.
in, but a lot of people opt out, which is the big concern.
And you don't recommend that?
No. And then there's apps. Our Channel 3 weather app will alert you when a threat is in the middle of the night or whatever. You just have to make sure that the notifications are on. So it's kind of one of those things like you love the convenience of the phone, but you
Right.
have to let the phone do its thing. And you know, tornadoes in early March and April, this is prime tornado season, especially in the deep south. That outbreak last year on March 3rd was in the southeast states. 41 tornadoes went through there. In 2012 on March 3rd,
That's so interesting.
there were 70 tornadoes that had 43 fatalities. That was in this area again. So it's a very volatile time of the year. And of course, a lot of people now, especially in the middle of the night, reminds me of the Evansville tornado a few years ago. So just please take precautions when it comes to severe weather for your families. You know, we're trying to do our part to get the word to you, but you got to be able to receive it.
Don't opt out of those notifications. They could save your life.
Yeah.
Okay, next on your feed at 5. In response to the economic fears brought on by the coronavirus, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell slashed the interest rate today, did it by a half point. Brandon Simmons is here now to tell us what that means to us. Brandon, what does that mean?
Well, it means one thing. I can tell you, they're worried about what's going to happen with the economy, obviously. They wanted to get out ahead of this and lower the rates and actually infuse spending in the economy. So this is something that hasn't happened since 2008, where the Fed actually decides to lower those rates. But it does have some good effects for you as a consumer. So there are a couple of things that we want you to pay attention to. Obviously, now's a good time to borrow money. So if you're looking to borrow money, this is the time to do it. And one thing we talked about are historically low mortgage rates. I know, Jay, we talked about this earlier. You said you were looking into refinancing. And also, if you're looking into financing your first home, now's the time where you want to get something like that done. Also, if you have other big purchases to make, now's the time to borrow money. So if you need to buy a new car, you want to go ahead and do that. Having money sitting inside of a savings account right now will not make you as much. Because
Yield is way down on that, right?
It's low, yeah. So
It's been low for a long time.
That's true.
But it's going south.
But it's getting
But
worse.
by the Fed lowering that rate, what they're saying is we want you to go out and use that money, and they're hoping to pump the economy up as opposed to bringing it down.
Right.
Okay, so what if the coronavirus keeps getting worse?
Now that's where we run into a problem, right? Because the Fed lowering the rate now, trying to get ahead of it, what they're telling us is we're hoping this pumps up the economy. If it gets worse and we continue to see people not spend money, that becomes a problem because now the Fed doesn't have anywhere else to go. It's kind of like, what are those other tools?
It's hard to go much lower than where they are.
Exactly. And again, we haven't seen this since 2008. Before that, I believe it was 9/11 was the last time when they made one of these emergency cuts. So we're hoping for that things get better. We're hoping the virus doesn't spread and stoke those fears that we've been talking about this entire time. We hope people get out and spend and honestly use this to your advantage.
Well, it was interesting today. The market's response to this was not a good one. I think either Wall Street expected a bigger cut or they sort of baked this into yesterday's market activity, which we saw was a record day, and the Dow was down big again today. So the fears are still out there.
Yeah, the fear is there, and I think that's why we saw that market drop so much again today, is that a lot of investors are just uncertain about what this really means. They're saying, well, is there something you're not telling us where you know the economy is going to tank, so you wanted to get ahead of it, or is this something where you're just getting ahead of it so that consumers aren't worried? So I think investors, again, were a little nervous, so that's why we saw what we saw today. But again, if people looking for loans, looking to borrow money, take advantage of it. Now's the time.
And if you're going to be spending that money, get it done before everything starts to improve. It's timing is everything.
Yeah, because they're gonna shoot it right back up if things start to look good.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Brandon, thanks.
Sure.
Great stuff. Well, have you seen this? There's a Reddit post that's getting a lot of attention here in Cleveland. A user wrote, "Would you cut 5 years off your own life and give them to your dog?" It has more than 9,000 comments. Redditors are very excited about this. Most people are saying no, but we want to hear from you. Tell us what you would do at WKYC.com/vote now. You can see folks already answering at the bottom of the screen. A lot of people, the majority right now, saying yes. They would give up 5 years of their life to give it to their pet to live longer. But
I feel like a bad human right now.
Well,
because I thought about this. I have 2 dogs. I'm a huge dog lover. I'm going to, at some point in my lifetime, lose my dogs. I've already lost pets. I know it's going to happen. To cash in 5 years of my life, to extend 5 years of my dogs, the misery is still going to be there. When my dogs go, it will be one of the worst days of my life. I've been there. But I would say no. I'm not willing to cash in 5 years. And I know that people may think I'm a terrible person, but
I think your kids would probably agree with you. My kids would hopefully agree with me on saying no to that.
So you're a no too.
I am a no. But
right.
listen to this. This is kind of this existential conversation that we're having today. A little deep for 5 o'clock. But anyway, one user wrote, dogs don't need as many years to live since they're born knowing how to love. Humans are the ones who just need a little extra time to learn.
I agree with that.
I have no idea where that quote came from. I don't know if it's that person's quote or they got it from somewhere else.
Seems awfully profound for Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, people get deep there, but yeah.
Yeah,
so.
I like the saying, but they do. They know how to love, and it takes us many years to learn how to do that. Russ Mitchell at the news desk right now. He has other stories making headlines this hour. Hello, Russ. Dog lover?
Sure. Yes.
But you're not giving up 5 years of your life.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, not that much.
But thanks for asking, Jen. Appreciate it. Here is what is happening today. It is Super Tuesday. Delegates in 14 states and the territory of American Samoa up for grabs today. The first polls close in less than 2 hours. It is a battle royale between Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, with Elizabeth Warren and Mike Bloomberg trying to stay strong in the game. More on this big day later in the broadcast. Also at 6 and 11, and NBC special coverage begins at 8 o'clock. Lowe's is hiring 600 associates across its stores in the Cleveland area. You can apply at walk-in interviews at any store until 7 o'clock tonight and from 10 to 7 tomorrow. Full-time, part-time, and seasonal work is being filled. And on the off chance that you're looking for a pot-bellied pig, Happy Trails Farm Animal Sanctuary in Ravenna is putting some up for adoption because they are filled to capacity. More at WKYC.com. And if my newsman credentials have not been revoked by 5:30, I'll see you at my desk at 5:30 for more headlines.
You still have them, I promise.
You may just have a little extra in your inbox is all.
And we will see you at 5:30.
See ya.
We will.
All right, still ahead on What's New. So what happens to our skin with all of this hand washing? We have tips on how to keep your hands from feeling like the desert.
Oh, it's awful. And Stephanie Haney, what's been clicking in Cleveland, girlfriend?
Well, this funny guy, comedian Jim Gaffigan, he's coming to town and he's asking for very specific recommendations. We'll tell you how we can all help him out. And all signs point to the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be hanging around the Cleveland Browns for a while. We'll tell you why we say that.
Ooh, juicy. Matt, how's our drive home looking?
Well, I'll tell you what, we had the rainfall earlier. We have cleared things out. We've got bright sunshine for your drive home. You can see we've got typical heavy traffic coming out of downtown. This is I-90 near Kenilworth. The look towards the airport, though, that's where we're having bigger problems. I-90 around Dead Man's Curve, we've got some typical slowdowns, but an accident I-480 westbound. This is near the airport, Brook Park Road area, backing up traffic all the way to Ridge Road, and some slowdowns 77 northbound as you're heading towards the city of Cleveland here this evening. We'll send it out to break. We'll be back with a look at that forecast.
7 shots.
Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
Yes.
We have been telling you to do it all flu season and beyond, and because of the coronavirus, but washing them so frequently can really dry your skin out. And the lady who coined the phrase, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, must be said 3 times, our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins.
My fault.
And you have some ways that we can kind of offset the whole drying action of soaping your hands constantly all day.
Yes, since I'm the one who keeps telling everybody to do it, I guess I should be the one to tell them what to do
Yes,
about
please.
it. So,
Okay.
first of all, one of the things you need to know is you can fix it if your hands are super dry. Mine are, and I literally just did this last night.
Okay.
So one of the things you can do when you wash your hands, you don't need super hot water. So, dip your hands in that. That's what I want you to do.
Oh my God, that's freezing.
I know, it's very,
I didn't
very
expect that.
cold. Yes, it is.
Oh my
That's, go
God.
ahead, dip. Now, what I want you to do is don't dry them completely.
It is
okay,
icy.
just
Okay,
dry
so
them a little
pat
bit.
them with this towel?
Yes, pat them with a towel.
Okay.
And then, Jay, I want you to use a lotion.
All right.
Bets, I want you to use a cream.
Aquaphor.
So,
And
yeah.
is there a difference?
There is a difference, and
Okay.
I'll show you
I always
why.
put it on the back of my hand first.
That's a good way to start, but Jay, notice so the point of this is when you put your lotion or your cream on and your skin is still damp, you're trapping in that moisture.
Oh, I see.
So it's holding it in, and I did ice cold water. That's an extreme. Lukewarm or cool water. You don't need ice cold.
Okay.
I just wanted to do that to
And
mess with you
straight out
guys.
of Lake Erie.
So yeah. So anyway, notice this is taking forever.
Yeah,
for
because it's
you.
not going away.
Exactly. So that's why you really want to opt for a cream, not a lotion.
Oh, thanks,
okay.
Mom.
You're
I got
welcome. It's Betsy's birthday, so I had to do that for her.
That's fine. Use me as the guinea pig.
So something else you want to consider, and I literally just did this last night, and you can do this with your medical gloves or cotton gloves if you want.
Right.
And for your feet, if you've got super dry feet, you can use your socks.
Or if you grew up like I did, just put the socks on your hands.
Yes, and that was the other thing I was going to say. But some of the things, the easiest thing you could do if your hands are really dry and cracked, you can use something as simple as coconut oil, and you could use that feel that, Jay.
It's super creamy.
It's super
It's like a
creamy.
candle.
If you get
Yes.
refined coconut oil, it does not smell like coconut.
Yes.
And the coconut
Yes.
flavoring is out of it. If it's unrefined, then it smells like coconut and you feel like you're on the beach.
Exactly what she said. Or you can use Vaseline, and this stuff is really key on your cuticles.
Oh,
and
okay.
then just put the gloves on over your hands and go to sleep with them
That's
on.
it.
And you can keep them on all night long.
And they go on easy because it's all slimy.
Yes, it's all slimy. And the trick to this is goop them on. Goop this stuff on your hands, and then sleep with them on your hands. And then seriously, when you wake up in the morning, believe me,
I'm going to have the hands of a 20-year-old.
if you're really, really lucky, yeah, maybe. But seriously, it does help. It makes a big difference, and also sometimes this helps too. But if you want to use the cotton, the mittens, or the gloves, or whatever, that may help. Obviously, take in some of the lotion so it's not so goopy when you wake up. Sometimes I'll wake up and my hands are a little wet from the rubber gloves, but you have options, and that it really does work.
This is great advice.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll do it, but
I know.
I bet a lot of
You
people
might
will.
if your
You know what?
skin
When your
starts to
skin
crack.
starts to crack,
Yeah,
trust me,
if I get to
you
that point, I'll do it. Hand care, not high on my list of priorities, but this is nice to know.
Matt, I can't help but think if we get you a pair of these gloves, you could do like mime weather.
Yeah, that'd be
Like
fun.
that would
Yeah,
just
you'd have
be
invisible
epic.
hands.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I have sweaty hands. They're sweaty all the time. My prom dates would always complain, but they don't dry out. So we're
This
good.
is suddenly very personal and
I'm
awkward.
sorry. Anytime we talk,
Your weather word
word
today is flaky.
flaky.
Flaky. Not
All right.
referring to someone that might have sweaty hands.
Speaking of prom dates, hey, let's look at the sky, the time lapse today. We had the warm air, right? We were in the mid 50s today. Watch what happens. We turned the wind off the lake this afternoon, so we're mild, and then boom, the wind shifted off the lake. This was our weather this afternoon. What a difference Lake Erie makes and that wind direction this time of year. Kind of neat on the time lapse. I tweeted that out earlier as well if you want to take another look. So when that rain came when we dropped our temperatures into the low 40s, even upper 30s in spots, but we've already warmed them up off to the west. So here's where the cool air is now out east. We've warmed things up to near 50 once again. We have the sunshine. But things are starting to change. You can see all the rain we had earlier, some pretty decent downpours, ponding of water on roadways. That is long gone. We've cleared things out temporarily. But just off to our west, this is a very quick moving system. We've got an area of clouds that spawn some kind of popcorn-like downpours. This will move in here this evening. I would imagine a lot of this will start to die out as we lose that daytime heating, so to speak. So expect a couple of showers here tonight. But the bigger picture, all the action down in Tennessee last night, now well off the East Coast. You see as we stretch down towards my IFB box just fell out. Just tell me when to wrap. That'd be great. But you can see as we stretch back towards the west, we've got a plume of moisture there as well. And then this is our system on Wednesday. Thanks, Betsy. My cord's back here somewhere. Early showers tonight. Yeah, that's fine. Just tell me when to shut up. All right, early showers tonight. Looks like our computer not expecting any weather from 9 to 10, but by 11 o'clock, midnight or so, we're back to the weather again. Temperatures dropping back towards the 30s overnight tonight. So let's take hour by hour through that forecast. There goes that brief area of showers tonight. If you have late night plans, that's what you'll need to plan for. But tomorrow morning, we're not dealing with any rain on the radar. In fact, we should start your Wednesday with clearing skies, temperatures in the 30s. But look how quickly this weather pattern changes. We go from sunshine in the morning to increasing clouds, and by midday we bring this rain-snow mix in here as we go throughout the afternoon. Should have falling temperatures beyond that. We're dry by evening. Things look great, in fact, for your Wednesday evening, and that will shape up towards a beautiful looking Thursday. Should be in the 50s around here with some sunshine. Next chance of rain and snow arrives on Friday with cooler temperatures and a beautiful weekend up. We'll detail that coming up.
You mean flaky?
Flaky snow around here. Actually, it looks kind of...
we thought you said. All right, thank you so much. Well, Jim Gaffigan is coming to Cleveland. He wants to try one of the most Cleveland things ever. So we have a way that you can help him.
All right, welcome back to What's New. Time for Steph and Clicking in Cleveland. And Steph, I think that your first story here is a good sign that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be here for a while.
Ooh, you are correct about that.
Yeah.
OBJ is reportedly very involved with a very big change for the Cleveland Browns. We haven't gotten new uniforms around here since 2015, and rumor has it that OBJ is front and center in the photo shoots to unveil them. That's according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. So that should help settle that question, hopefully, about whether he'll be a Brown here in 2020. Of course, also General Manager Andrew Berry says that he thinks that he's a big part of our future here. So we have that to look forward to as well. So we'll get to see that new look in April.
Yes.
Okay, funny guy Jim Gaffigan is coming to town, and he needs our help. Gaffigan loves his food, and he has done his research about Cleveland, so he tweeted out saying that he's interested in trying our, quote, healthy sandwich named the Polish Boy. He wants to know where he can get it and also whether he should eat it before or after his show. Also, we're thinking maybe he's got a weak stomach because he's asking for the best emergency room in Cleveland, too. So he's going to be here on Friday at the Wolstein Center for his The Pale Tourist Tour. And obviously, he has done his research because Banter in Cleveland's Gordon Square was just on the Food Network's list of best sandwiches to try in the country. So go ahead and tweet us your recommendations. We'll put a list together. We'll share it with him. All right, this is coming up tonight on WKYC.com and our WKYC app. The highly anticipated announcement of Playhouse Square's 2021 Broadway series. This is an exciting night for theater goers tonight. Past season, as you know, we've had amazing shows come through here, including Mean Girls, My Fair Lady, Disney's Frozen, Jesus Christ Superstar. So if you haven't already done so, you're going to want to download our app and turn on those push notifications so that you can know as soon as that lineup is announced. And then to do that, all you need to do right now is text the word app, APP, to 216-344-3300. You'll get the links. You can download our app.
That's awesome. Have you ever seen Cats on Broadway?
I haven't seen Cats on Broadway or the theater, you know, the film theater. I would like to see them both.
It's different.
Yeah.
Period. Just for a little,
Yeah, I'll say what she wants to. It's way overrated. Sorry, I agree.
It's beautiful, and there's singing, and it's amazing, and there's some great moments, but whew, it's out there. Anywho.
I'm excited to see what we do have come through here.
Right?
Maybe it won't
Maybe
be
it's
Cats.
Cats.
it's not
Maybe
Cats.
this is your chance. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, we are spoiled here in Cleveland. We know that, and we do have a lot of great restaurants, but Will Uick is at one of the really good ones. Will, Larder is a semi-finalist for a James Beard Award.
Yeah, Betsy, this is the second year in a row that they've been in this elite company as a semifinalist for the James Beard Award. I'm here with Jeremy Umansky. He's a co-owner chef. Every time you come in here, you get a really nice greeting. It sounds kind of like,
Welcome to Larder.
that wasn't staged at all. Jeremy, tell me a little bit about, I mean, this is the second year in a row that the James Beard Foundation has found you guys and thought you deserve a little bit of recognition. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means the world to us. Our team here is excellent. You know, me, my wife Allie, and my business partner Kenny. You know, we're working hard, so it's just a really nice thing to happen.
They have a lot of things here. What they're really known for: pastrami sandwich and their fried chicken sandwich. We're going to get a little closer look at what goes into those, how those are made, maybe a taste test if he'll let me, coming up in just a little bit, guys.
Oh, we'll let you.
Sounds
There we
really
go.
good.
All right.
He's on the record.
Very good. Well, thanks. Very good. By the way, if you want to find Larder, you can do that in
That's what
the
I was
Ohio
looking up
City
there.
neighborhood.
Yeah, I was looking up where it was. Alrighty.
Big, good time there. Ahead in the second half hour of What's New, 14 states are voting in primaries today. What will the race for the Democratic nomination look like after Super Tuesday? Our political analyst is here, and he's going to weigh in on that.
All right, you may have seen that video there. We've seen ads for fat freezing. Now, home versions of fat freezing. We'll tell you if they work.
Plus, this guy here is a student manager. He's been one for 4 years at Jackson State. What happened when Snacks finally got into his first college basketball game ever? You do not want to miss Snacks.
Yay!
This guy's the bomb.
Now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New with Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford.
Welcome back, everybody, to What Is New. I'm Betsy Kling here with Jay Crawford, and Cleveland was in the spotlight this morning.
Yes, it
Our
was.
own Jay was on the Kelly Clarkson show as part of her Good Neighborhood segment. She featured the Rock Hall, the West Side Market, and Walls of Love.
Yeah, that was the best part. We had volunteers down at the Rock Hall filling bags for what is, Betsy, their 300th Wall of Love nationwide. Two of the volunteers that were there, over 100 years old. There was a 107-year-old woman and a 101-year-old woman. They were awesome, as was everyone. I'm so glad that Kelly decided to put Cleveland in the spotlight because this really is a terrific cause. They're in areas of need, and they fill these bags with things that we take for granted. Socks, toothbrush, cleaning things for our, hygiene and everything. And the demand is great, and they can't keep up with it. So I thought it was a good thing that Kelly put that in the national spotlight. I want to talk to Holly, who's the creator of Walls of Love, in a couple of weeks and see what, if any, effect the Kelly appearance has had on their efforts to try to ease the suffering from so many people.
That's such a great organization.
It really is.
Cause.
Yeah, it is. Okay, it's time to check on what's making headlines, and for that we go to Russ Mitchell, who joins us live from his desk in the newsroom. Hi, Russ.
Jay and Betsy, good afternoon once again. We have an update for you on the deadly tornado in and around Nashville, Tennessee. At least 22 are dead, 150 injured, 50,000 homes and businesses were left without power. The storm left at least 45 buildings collapsed in Nashville, including Super Tuesday polling locations. President Trump says he will visit that area on Friday. It is a stage of many stars. The original and iconic Woodstock stage is now the newest attraction at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was donated this morning by a man who collected several panels of the stage, and he saw inductees Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and more perform their sets at Woodstock in 1969 when he was a kid. And check out these guys, Bowling Green. I think you guys know about that place. It's now the first university in Ohio to offer these specific food delivering robots. You order it through an app and choose from 9 different dining options on campus. Each robot can carry up to 20 pounds, and they deliver up to 1:30 in the morning. But I'm sure that both of you, by 1:30 in the morning, you were getting some sleep.
Sure.
Because you were up early the next day for class, and this would mean nothing to you if you were to go back to school there right now.
I was still studying. I mean,
yeah, I wasn't.
Some of us needed more help.
Betsy
than
was
others.
studying for both of us.
I totally would have done the robot thing.
We would have killed that thing.
I mean,
we would have worn 'em
Winters
out.
in Bowling Green, you might as well be on the planet, whatever the one from Star Wars, Hoth.
Yeah, well, just say Pluto. It's as cold as you can get in our solar system, right?
Really bad.
That's pretty cool, though. That's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Bowling Green Pride. Okay, it is, thank you, Russ. We'll see you at 6. It is, as Russ mentioned, Super Tuesday primaries and caucuses going on right now, 14 states nationwide. And by the time we go to bed tonight, we should have a much clearer picture of the race to win the Democratic nomination for president. And our political analyst, Tom Barris, is here now. Tom, as we sit, Bernie is the front runner. Biden has momentum, but Bloomberg has the money. What happens moving forward if Bernie comes out the big winner tonight? Where are we?
Well, again, the circumstances, how many delegates, how many votes does he have to pile up to create an insurmountable margin?
Yeah.
I think Mr. Biden is still hoping to stay within binocular distance of him and try to keep it a 2-person race, try to put enough distance between himself and Mayor Bloomberg and Ms. Warren behind him.
Sure.
So, again, the crystal ball a little bit murky here, but I'm thinking the race goes forward, certainly as things are not going to be decided tonight, and Ohio will be very much in the mix in 2 weeks with our St. Patrick's Day version of primary
Which
day.
I think is going to be really interesting. All right, so Buttigieg bowed out, and Klobuchar also bowed out. Both of them went behind Biden. Elizabeth Warren says she's in this for the long haul. So
well,
where
she
does
is
that
till
leave
she's
us?
not. I mean, that's what they all say. Remember, Buttigieg was on Meet the Press Sunday morning talking about he's in it to win it, and he was out by the end of the day.
Okay.
So
her staying in the race hurts Bernie, doesn't it? I mean, they're fighting for the same voters
they're
in that left
they're in the
wing of the party.
same left lane. Bernie's in the ultra left lane, but Yes, she would be taking votes for him. Of course, her people would say he's taking votes from her from their self-serving perspective. But yeah, I think things may start to consolidate a little bit more after today. But I think things will be very competitive and very lively on the 17th when Ohio finally gets to do something besides sit on the sidelines.
Well, let's talk about that. It is 2 weeks away. What role do you see the Buckeye State playing in this race for the Democratic nomination?
Well, important, but not essential. Again, there's, I believe, 136 delegates that Ohio was responsible for. I think that Bernie Sanders ran a respectful second place back in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. So he has a foothold here. He has a lot of young people, a lot of young volunteers. But again, Ohio is very comfortable with familiar and maybe senior leadership. And so I think Biden is going to be able to muster a lot of support here. But again, all depends what happens tonight.
Yeah.
Biden hoping to do well down south. Bernie hoping to do well California west, stand up in New England, and maybe steal Elizabeth Warren's home state in Massachusetts.
If that happens,
that would
Elizabeth would not be long for this race, you would think. Okay, Tom Barris will be here with us all night long throughout
Good to have
Super
you back
Tuesday.
with us, Tommy D.
Tom, good to see you.
Good to have you. All right, Stephanie Haney is back with a pop break for today. Stephanie, what's popping?
Well, it's time to find out what the stars are saying about what's been happening in Nashville. As you know, Nashville is the center of the country music scene, and all those stars there have been making pledges to help those affected while focusing on the tight-knit community there in Nashville. Here's exactly what they're saying in your pop break. Country stars like Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, and Casey Musgraves are sharing messages of love and support for the people of Music City after deadly tornadoes tore through Nashville this morning. With Musgraves promising fans, "I'm gonna help in any way I can." Singer Dierks Bentley tweeted this early video of the storm from an airplane window, writing, "Glad we landed when we did. Wouldn't have been good an hour later. Tennessee, our hearts are with you." Stranger Things fans, we have an update for you. Filming for season 4 is now underway. Show execs broke the good news via a vintage-looking video on the Stranger Things social media accounts. Familiar faces include Maya Hawke as Robin, Brett Gelman as Murray, and David K. Harbour as Hopper, who, spoiler alert, we all thought was dead at the end of season 3. We'll find out what really happened with Hopper when the new season premieres later this year. And who knew Sophie Turner used to be a Joe Bro hater? The actor told Elle magazine that when she was younger, she didn't like the Jonas Brothers because her favorite band, Busted, broke up after Nick, Joe, and Kevin covered their song Year 3000, and she blamed the brothers for it. Sophie also said that when she first met Joe, she expected him to be rude, but that they actually had an instant connection, even though she brought along all of her guy friends on their first date, and the rest is history. Bunch of rugby guys.
That could be awkward.
Right?
Yeah.
So as happy as we are that Joe and Sophie are so happy, people might also be happy to know that Busted got back together.
Great.
They got back together in
All's well that ends
2015.
well.
There they are performing with the Jonas Brothers in June in the UK. There they are together, Busted and the Jonas Brothers, and I think maybe Sophie had a little something to do with this.
I would guess, yeah.
She was pictured with Busted in July.
Yeah,
So.
well, full circle. I want to take a second to wish my co-host, Betsy, a very happy 29th birthday.
Goodness gracious.
And we have a cake that
This
will
is
feed
ridiculous.
Betsy. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but Betsy, this is yours.
Are these
And-
snoogles?
Yeah, this is from our friends at Kudrowski's in Amherst. So Betsy, that is your happy birthday present.
These are the most delicious pastries on the planet. Everybody,
really are
this is a snoogle. And guys, I'm seriously like verklempt right now. You couldn't have given me anything more appropriate for my birthday. These are the best possible pastries you can have. And Madison's mom made the cake. Is that what you just said in my ear?
Yeah, how about that?
And my head is on it. That is terrifying. We'll be cutting that piece out first.
That looks
But
wonderful.
Thank you
Lovely
guys
in person and on a cake.
Thank you.
These are good.
Now
I had these for
that
the first time
is
on
a
lunch
cake.
break.
Bomb. These are not
Yeah,
just good.
they came in
They
on
are.
lunch break once.
Can
And we
attest.
killed them. They were so good.
So happy.
Okay, ahead on What's New. We're live at Larder, where Will Ewick is making one of their most popular dishes.
And Matt, how is the weather looking and what on earth are you doing
Well, I'm
now?
just making sure my IFB stays on, so
We're
Rob's
gonna
duct
tape
taping
it
it to
on.
myself. Yeah, thanks.
Keep
Just
going,
keep going
Rob.
around. All right, temperature-wise, we haven't seen much cold air. It is staying off to the north. We've got spring-like days ahead. Wait until you. Oh, that's a little too tight. A little too tight. Wait
Looks
until
good.
you see the 7-day forecast. We've got some warmth moving in.
Thanks, Rob.
I'll fix that box.
Snoot on.
Did we get you out of the duct tape?
Yes, finally, like just in the nick of time.
Awesome.
So, magic of TV.
I would help, but my hands are still very supple and moisturized.
She's
from
about to dig into
earlier.
this cake, too.
So
Yeah.
I need the gloves back so I can get in on this.
Jay's covered in lotion for the next 3 weeks. This
Yeah.
ought to be great. All right,
I
guys, I want to start with a weather question for you.
Okay.
We've put together all the 2020 days so far and put the rain and the precipitation on them. Which day has been the rainiest? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday so far in 2020. What do you think?
All of them.
Jay,
Yes.
this isn't Seattle.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm
All
going
right.
to say Saturday.
Saturday? Ooh, good
Yeah.
guess. Betsy, any idea?
I'm going to say Monday.
Monday? Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here. We did a little calculating today. Jay, you got it. Saturday's
I
right.
knew it. I knew
know.
it.
I didn't
Because
think
it
that
seems
either,
like every Saturday it's raining outside.
Yep, and that has been the case. We've either had rain or snow. So Monday, Tuesday, we had a rainy day today, rainy day yesterday. Monday, Tuesday had 5 days. Wednesday's been our driest day. So if you're planning weddings in March, maybe April, that has no effect whatsoever.
Matt, if you add those days up, I think that's how many days we've had in 2020.
That is
It's
so
rained
far,
every
I know.
day.
It's beautiful in Northeast Ohio this time of year, isn't it? But my point being, this weekend, we're not going to see any rainfall whatsoever. So we've got precip, rain-snow mix on Wednesday. Our next shot at some snowflakes is on Friday, and then we go dry this weekend. So let's give you a setup for how we get there. We had the rain around earlier today. We dried out during the midday hours. But look what's happening in right now. We've got Erie, Huron County. We've got a pretty decent dose of some rainfall moving into Lorain County. Mansfield, you've got some downpours as well. This is going to last throughout the evening. We've got another little pinwheel of around this area, low pressure that'll push through. That'll bring us some evening showers. Tonight we dry out. And then our system on Wednesday, screaming down from the north. This is an Alberta clipper. It's going to raise racing here. Going to see some pretty decent wind gusts out of this as well on Wednesday before that clears out, setting up a dry Thursday. So our fast-moving weather pattern, here we go. Scattered showers tonight, tomorrow morning, no problems for that morning rush hour. Ought to even have some sunshine out there with temps in the 30s. But then by midday, things change again. Those clouds increase. I think we'll hit near 50 down to the south, mid-40s lakeshore. But then we get this mix of rain and snow. It'll be brief tomorrow afternoon. That pushes on out. We're back down to the 30s with clearing skies tomorrow evening. And that will set the stage for a beautiful-looking Thursday around here. But look what happens in the extended forecast. We go up to 51 with lots of sunshine on Thursday, late-day clouds. Friday's our next shot at rain. May start as some rain, and then it'll change over to snow. It'll be kind of a rough Friday evening around here, kind of nasty, but then the weekend setting up, I think, near 40 on Saturday with lots of sunshine, and Sunday and Monday, look at that, upper 50s with lots of sunshine with rain next week. So enjoy the weekend, everybody.
59.
Yeah, but it's that up and down that kind of gets at you a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day, too. All right, well, it rose to fame around here as a modern take on the traditional Jewish deli. Now, larder is getting national attention.
For the second year in a row, in fact, they've been named a semifinalist for a James Beard Award, which recognizes culinary excellence. Will Ewing is at Lard. I talked to him earlier today. Betsy, he is so pumped to show us how they make one of their most popular sandwiches. Hey, Will.
Yeah, Jay, the interesting thing is we're talking about the second year in a row that James Beard Foundation has recognized them. This is coming up on year 2 that they've been open. So Kenny, co-owner and one of the chefs joining me, what does that mean? I mean, you guys are coming up on your second year anniversary and already James Beard is knocking at your door twice.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, to be nominated twice is great, but in 2 separate categories is just even more unbelievable for us. We're thankful for our customers in the Cleveland base and the people that come out and support us on a daily basis.
The people that come out, they see your menu rotating all the time, but one of the big staples is the pastrami sandwich. So tell me a little bit as you're making this, how you put it together, what separates it from just your average pastrami sandwich?
Right, so we start a little bit different than other people. We start with actually a raw beef brisket from Certified Angus Beef right here in Wooster, Ohio, and then from there we trim it down, we trim a lot of the fat off, we save a piece of it that we actually use for another product that we make that's pseudo, which is a cured meat similar to a lardo, but from there we take that, we add a percentage of salt, and we also use a liquid extract of a moldy rice that you would eat in soy sauce or a miso, and we use that to cure it, and we go through the process in about 3 days, 4 days, where a traditional process might take 20 or longer.
How does this get built? So you stack it on the sandwich?
Then this gets smoked and then steamed, so it's quite a long process. This is after that. We slice it, hand cut every time here.
Oh, look at the juice.
Torture because
we got a couple of different toppings here. Is this the secret ingredient or?
No secrets here. This is just a house-made kraut here. We start with red cabbage. We salt it to 3% and we let it ferment like your grandma would. And then this here, this is our mustard, maybe a little bit different than everyone else. We start with brown mustard seeds. We soak them in equal parts water overnight, and then we blend them with salt and vinegar that we make ourselves.
Kenny, I'm getting told we got 10 seconds. I'm going to time you. Can you build a sandwich in 10 seconds? This is like a competition.
Go, Kenny, go. He calls
Let's
this
see
Tuesday.
if you can win this.
Oh, look at the stack on there.
Yes, he can. Look at that.
That's amazing. Wow. That looks delicious.
Jay, Betsy, as I mentioned, the menu rotates, but this is one thing that's going to be on there no matter when you come here on the west side of Cleveland to Larder. You can get that pastrami sandwich. As long as they're not sold out, Jay. I don't know. When I leave here,
Will, can he get 2 of those to Channel 3 Studios in 10 seconds? That would be the treat.
You want them wrapped up to go?
Yeah, that looks good. Looks very good.
My magic.
Will, thanks. Now I'm starved.
Oh, that looks so good.
It does.
Amazing.
Ahead on What's New, fat freezing. It's a popular trend.
And
you may need it after you eat those sandwiches. People like to do this to lose weight. So how do the home kits compare?
Right.
To me, it sounds like a train wreck.
Do it while you're eating a pastrami sandwich.
We're going to put them to the test.
Right? And our video worth the watch is so cool. What happens when a student manager for the Jackson State basketball team gets put into the game?
I see you, Snacks. You may have seen the highway billboards or the television commercials for procedures that help get rid of fat cells by freezing them away.
Sounds so good. Well, consumer investigator Danielle Serino tested 3 at-home products that claim they'll get you similar results without pain and at a fraction of the price.
The chances of any of us looking like this,
I eat out too much,
are slim to none.
Your girl's gonna eat mashed potatoes. Like, I don't have time to figure out my salad and color coordinate my plate.
32% of Americans are overweight.
6 packs is cool, but a case take care of the whole party.
But while you may think you've got to get hot and sweaty to shape up, the latest trend says, nope, you've got to chill.
Cool Sculpting safely freezes and removes fat cells with little or no downtime.
Procedures like that, though, are pricey. So we found products that promise similar results for less than $100.
Fat cells can be both shrunken and permanently destroyed by direct cold exposure.
The Isovera fat freezing system is described as a non-invasive way to destroy fat without harmful gimmicky machines.
I mean, is this even gonna Velcro to this?
Yeah, it's supposed to.
CelluFreeze also claims to help freeze the fat away, and it includes this roller to help break up and separate fat cells.
Massage the targeted area in circular motions for 2 to 3 minutes immediately after you remove the system.
And while the 6-in-1 fat loss machine doesn't use ice to freeze the fat, it promises to lighten your load with high-frequency sonic light that accelerates metabolism.
Wait, turn on the ultrasonic function and drop a few drops of water on the probe.
Oh my gosh, it's going, look at it.
We measured our testers' waists.
Wow.
All right, hold the wire.
Then had them bring their belly busters home and use them per the product directions. After 4 weeks, Haley did lose an inch, but she also lost 3 pounds after getting the flu.
I mean, was it uncomfortable?
No, I just wore my tank top down because I felt like if you wouldn't have, you would have got frostbite.
Lena's measurements were the same.
I think that you have to pair these things with a better routine, because eating mashed potatoes with my left hand and rubbing that on my stomach with my right, I really don't think it's gonna help me.
I should be able to just go out
Dwayne didn't drop inches either.
and lose weight then, right? And I did the rubbing and the massage. I even did with my hands like kneading dough, Yeah, dough boy. It still turned out to be just really, I didn't really see any progress.
They all said, unless you up your exercise and cut down your calories, all you'll really lose will likely be time.
I could have spent 10 or 15 minutes working out on my butt machine or making a salad instead of 4-minute mashed potatoes.
The manufacturers of both fat freeze products insist their devices work, claiming either the testers didn't use them right or didn't give them enough time. But all we can say is that after 30 days, the testers weren't interested in using them anymore. We put the company's full responses on our website and know that the makers of the Sonic Fat Remover machine did not get back to us with a comment.
Stunned that didn't work. New at 5. What happens when the student manager makes it onto the basketball court? Find out in our Worth the Watch video. It's good.
Testing 1, 2. We begin with 3 of the latest developments in the coronavirus.
I didn't read Brandon's script. Does he talk about, is this related to the coronavirus at all? And does we go from coronavirus to stocks? How about I say Brandon Simmons?
Hello, Al. How are you?
Let's do this. Can you give me
Al, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Explains today's
Now it's time for our video worth the watch. A video from Jackson State's senior night is going viral. This is so cool. The crowd was cheering to put in the team's student manager, Thomas Lee, also known as
Snacks.
Coach put him in for the final 2 minutes, and after missing the first couple of shots, he sunk the final shot in the game, and the crowd went crazy.
Snacks from way downtown. I love Kevin Durant. He wore 35 in honor of Kevin Durant. He tweeted at him, "I see you, Snipes."
Oops. Well, close
Pretty
enough.
well done.
Yeah.
Well done. We're out of time. We're back, though, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We hope you join us then.
That's right. What Matters Most with Russ starts right now.
Tonight, short supply. The latest on the coronavirus and why one local doctor says she does not have what she needs to treat patients who get it. Also, emergency rate cut. The Federal Reserve makes the first move of this kind since stocks took a tumble. What it means for your mortgage, credit cards, and savings. Deadly tornado. Nearly 24 killed when storms rip across Tennessee.